And our playwright, Dr. Ronnie Sanlo, has been so generous to allow us to do this for you today. And so generous in allowing us to do this as we are quarantined and unable to be in our theater. So we can share this with many, many people throughout the United States or whoever happens to be here. So the first thing I would like to do before we begin the play is to introduce you to Dr. Ronnie Sanlo. So if Ronnie will turn on her video, fingers crossed, and I'd like for her to come and tell you guys a little bit about the show and about where it came from, about herself. Ronnie?
Okay.
There you are.
There
she is. Good to see you.
Hi, Joey.
Hi.
So this play came about because I had heard my father's story many times growing up. He was a 19-year-old Jewish soldier in World War II Europe in the 42nd Rainbow Division. And one day he was sharing the story with my granddaughters, and he was forgetting some of the things. And my mother kept interrupting and reminding him of what actually had happened. And I said to her, "Mom, how do you know so much about this?" And she said, "Well, it's in all the letters." And I said, "What letters?" And she said, "Well, your father wrote me letters every day." And it turned out we had over 500 letters that my father wrote to my mom. He was 19, she was 18, they were newly married. And from the letters, we were able to create this story. And I'm grateful to my two granddaughters who shared with me that, they weren't quite getting it, and we were finding ways to bring young people into the play, into the story, so that it would be accessible for young people today. So you will see that there's a connection between present time and 1945 Europe. And like many of you in the audience, my family, many members of our family were killed in the Holocaust. So this is a piece that's very important to me and to my family, and I hope that you will enjoy this. Thanks, Joey.
Thank you so much, Ronnie. And I will say it is important. It's important to all of us, especially in this time where the survivors from the Holocaust are slowly becoming less and less, and so it's more and more important that we carry this story along through through theater and through storytelling, because if we don't, who will? So we have to remember to never forget. And so kudos to you, Ronnie, for writing this beautiful work and for being so generous with it. I would like to, after the play, I would love to do a little question and answer. And so if any of our audience members have questions for you or questions for our cast, if we do that, what I would ask is that you write your question in the chat, and then I will read the chat, and then I'll ask the question to the appropriate person after the play. Will you stick around for us for that, Ronnie?
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you. Break a leg.
Thank you. All right, my friends. So that means it is time for this beautiful play to come to work and to see your wonderful young people up here performing for you. So just again, as a quick reminder, keep yourself muted, please. And keep yourself muted and make sure that your video is not on. Make sure that you move the screen sharing over so you can see the cast members and you can see the title slides. If you go down to where it says stop video and you push the arrow on the right, then you can go into video settings and you'll scroll down and you make sure to check hide non-video participants. And last but not least, if you get a moment, on the screen sharing, it should be at the top of your screen. It says you are viewing one woman crew's screen. If you hit view options and you scroll down to where it says side-by-side mode, if you click side-by-side mode and make sure the check mark is there, we should be good to go. Whew, that was a lot. I'm sorry it's so labor intensive, but we're all in this together, right? All right, my friends, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to our wonderful Yara Oren. She is our one-woman crew for this show. She's running the slides, and she's going to be doing your stage directions. Take it away, my love.
The Soldier and the Time Traveler by Ronnie Sanlo. Author, LGBT historian, and playwright Dr. Ronnie Sanlo is a frequent speaker and consultant on LGBT issues in higher education. Now retired, Dr. Sanlo directed the UCLA LGBT Center and was a UCLA faculty in residence. Prior to going to UCLA in 1997, Dr. Sanlo was the director of the LGBT Center at the University of Michigan. Ronnie earned a bachelor's degree at the University of Florida and a master's and doctorate in educational leadership from the University of North Florida. Her first play, Dear Anita Bryant, received second place for the Robert J. Pickering Award in Playwriting Excellence. Ronnie and her wife, Dr. Kelly Watson, live in Palm Springs, California, and Sequim, Washington. Cast, in order of appearance. Old Sam Stein, played by Alton Sincan, a man in his 90s, Beth's present-day Jewish great-grandfather, World War II veteran. He sits in a wheelchair, wears his World War II veteran baseball cap, Purple Heart medal on his chest. Beth, played by Elise Ramis, 17-year-old computer nerd and time traveler from present day who goes back to 1945 to accompany her 19-year-old great-grandfather through the last 5 months of World War II. In Act 1, Scene 1, Beth wears teen clothes of the present day. Throughout the remainder of the play, she wears a World War II military-style jacket over her jeans. She identifies as a lesbian. Lupe, played by Alara Baran, Beth's 17-year-old Latina girlfriend. She wears cool teen clothes of the present day, identifies as queer. Young Sam Stein, played by Brody Testa, 19-year-old Jewish soldier from World War II and Beth's great-grandfather. He wears a World War II Army cap and jacket with the Rainbow Division insignia on the upper left sleeve. Ken Ketchum, played by Peyton Rosen, 20-year-old soldier from Ocean Shores, Washington, and Sam's Army buddy. He wears a World War II Army cap and jacket with the Rainbow Division insignia on the upper left sleeve. Harvey Lazar, played by Mia Crocker, 20-year-old gay but closeted Jewish soldier from a unit different from Sam. He wears a World War II Army cap and jacket. Ludvig, played by Alejandro Berkowitz, 18-year-old German time traveler from present day who is still painfully embarrassed by his family's involvement in World War II. He wears a military-style cap and jacket. Helga, played by Haley Ditter, 16-year-old Jewish girl from her bombed-out town who was repeatedly victimized by soldiers of every army. Sister of Inga, she wears tattered clothes and shoes. Inga, played by Davina Kaswani, a 14-year-old German girl in her bombed-out town who was repeatedly victimized by soldiers of every army. Sister of Helga, she wears tattered clothes and shoes. Set, 8 stools at middle stage right, 1 wheelchair up stage left for Old Sam, a light but not as bright as a spot on him for the entire performance. Act 1, Scene 1, Old Sam, schoolyard, present day. Old Sam Stein sits in his wheelchair, addresses the audience. Beth stands behind his wheelchair.
They say never again. They say we're doomed to repeat history if we don't remember our past. But I was there, you see. I was there, and I remember.
Beth and Ludvig come forward. They are in animated conversation.
No way. I am not doing this dumbass assignment, Lupe. What kind of teacher is she? She's like totally lost at this time.
Beth, it's messed up, but you gotta do this or you'll get kicked out again. Miss Alexander is always on your case. Graduation is in like a month. Just suck it up and do it.
Lupe, she wants us to write a paper proving the Holocaust didn't happen? What the heck? She's gotta be one of those white nationalist Nazi creeps. These resources she gave us, you call these credible?
No, I call them BS.
Right? One actually says Anne Frank faked her diary. The Holocaust happened, Lupe. I know it did because my great-grandpa, my pop, was there. And some of our family members died there. Next, she's going to tell us to debate whether the 9/11 actually happened. If the Holocaust never happened, Lou, where the hell did 6 million Jews go? And what if it happens again? What if it happens here?
But it is happening here, Beth, to my people. The United Nations already charged the United States with human rights violations for putting over 2,300 children in cages at the damn Mexican border. If we believe the Holocaust was fake, what's going to happen to us?
Exactly, white nationalist Nazi creeps.
Look, let's give Miss Alexander the benefit of the doubt, okay? Maybe she's just doing what that teacher in Rialto did with his class. Maybe she's just trying to make us think deeper about the Holocaust.
I doubt it. That Rialto teacher made his students argue against the Holocaust. This is just like that. But
nothing. You're always fighting with her, Beth, and she does seem to have it in for you. You always question whatever she's trying to teach us. You know that pisses her off. You're gonna fail if you're not careful, babe. This is your friggin' senior year. Just do the work and keep quiet.
Keep quiet about the Holocaust?
No, I mean, just keep your head down and do the work.
Keep my head down. Silence equals death, Lupe. Remember that saying from the AIDS crisis that we learned about in that queer history program? And why about the cages of the border? Your parents are Mexican. You're Mexican. Why aren't you angrier?
I am angry. We've been protesting the cages at the border and the damned wall since it started. But I'm tired, Beth. I just want us to graduate so we can go away to college together, to get away from all of this.
I just can't help it, Lupe. Alexander's way over the top this time. Like she tells us one thing, my pop tells me another. He was there, damn it. Who am I gonna believe? I gotta go, Lou. I gotta see it with my own eyes.
I know, Beth. You're so damn stubborn. Kind of why I love you, actually. I'll cover for you. Just be careful.
Thanks, Lupe. My pop is there. I'll be with him. I'll be okay. I love you and I owe you.
They kiss. Lupe steps back to her stool.
My name is Beth. I'm 17 and a total geek. I go to high school, but I prefer my computer world. I hate my history class. It seriously sucks. So boring, and usually my teacher's wrong about stuff. And then I get in trouble for trying to correct her. Like, why do I even bother? That's why I prefer my computer gamer world. I can create my time-traveling self and go wherever I want, anywhere I want, in any century. Like, I met Joan of Arc, a total badass. I also met Alexander Graham Bell, Einstein, and Tesla. I warned you, I'm a geek. It's not like a fad or anything new for me. I've been like this for as long as I can remember. Have you ever heard of DARPA? I hadn't either. It's a real thing. It's a Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, at the Department of Defense. They work on robots and avatars. See, an avatar partners with virtual reality to act as a person's surrogate in time travel. I sort of hacked into their site to design my own time travel machine, so my body stays home in a computerized bed, a tanning bed actually, which I hook up with my computer as my time machine. My avatar goes wherever I send it. That way, I'm not really in danger anywhere. I can wake myself up whenever I want by setting the timer on my watch. What's really cool about DIRPA is working on telepresence, which is just another way to say time travel. They should hire me because, I can already do that already. Really. Like I said, I've gone back in time, but this will be my most important trip. My pop was there.
Beth steps back to her stool.
By the time I turned 18 in 1943, over 50,000 Jews had already been killed in the Warsaw Ghetto and Poland alone, some of them my relatives. Hundreds of thousands of young men in America were drafted to go to war. I was one of them. I was sent to Camp Gruber in Oklahoma and inducted into the 42nd Rainbow Division Infantry Reconnaissance Unit, assigned as a radio gunner. I was okay with that, because reconnaissance guys were ahead of the front lines. That gave me the first crack at killing Nazis.
Act 1, Scene 2, a U.S. Army barracks, fall, 1943. Sam and Ketch come forward. They meet for the first time.
Hi, I'm Ketch. Ken Ketchum from Ocean Shores in Washington State.
Hey, Ketch. I'm Sam Stein, East Liverpool, Ohio. Glad to meet you.
Sam, glad to meet you too. Guess we better get to be friends since we share this here bunk. Where's East Liverpool? I know where Ohio is, but I never heard tell of East Liverpool.
Small town on the banks of Ohio River, near West Virginia, known for pottery. Only about 2,000 people. There's a sign that says, last person out, turn off the lights. Everybody knows everybody and their business.
Looks like we're both a couple of small town fellas. East Liverpool sounds a lot like my home, Ocean Shores, also on the water with about 2,000 people, and everybody's a busybody. I'll tell you the truth, Sam, I really don't want to be here. Guess we didn't have much of a choice, did we?
I want to be here, Ketch. I'm Jewish. Some of my family was killed by the Krauts. I'm going to kill him to get even.
Enter Harvey.
I thought I heard a familiar voice. Sam Stein! It's been a while. Yeah, I want to kill some Krauts too.
We're here for the same reason, Harvey. Great to see you. Ketch, this fellow's Harvey, my buddy from summer camp a couple years ago. Harv, this is Ketch from Washington State.
Gotta head over to my unit. I just stopped in to say hello, Sam. See you around. Ketch, it's nice to meet you.
Harvey and Ketch wave. Harvey returns to his stool.
I never met a Jew before, Sam, and now I know too. I hate that your families were killed. Just know I got your back, buddy. I'm gonna kill Krauts with you, man. Damn.
Ketch and Sam return to their stools.
The 42nd Rainbow Division entered combat near Strasbourg, France, on December 24th, 1944, to fight in the Battle of the Bulge. Thousands of young American soldiers were killed. Replacement troops arrived in Marseille, France, in mid-January 1945, to the coldest winter in history. Ketch and Harvey and I, among these untested replacements, aboard the Liberty ship USS Deborah Gannett, headed to some of the fiercest battles in World War II. I was 19 years old.
Act 1, Scene 3. A caught on the Liberty troop ship on its way to Europe. Beth and Sam come forward. Sam is seasick.
So damn seasick.
Yuck!
Huh? Who's that? Is someone there?
I said yuck. You barfed. It stinks.
Can't help it. So sick. Wait, who are you?
I'm Beth, your great-granddaughter. You're my great-grandfather. We call you Pop.
What? You're a great-grandfather? But I'm only 19, and I don't have kids. Heck, I'm just a kid. I must be hallucinating. This is getting bad.
No, not so bad, really. It means you don't die here. You don't die fighting. The good news is you get to be really old.
From your mouth to God's ear. But are you real? You can't be. I'm going nuts. How'd you get here? And where'd you come from?
Oh, I'm real, Pop, but you're the only one who can see me and hear me. Our little secret, okay? I'm what people call a computer nerd, and I know how to time travel, so I can show up anywhere. I came from my time of 2020 so I could see what happens here.
2020? How? And why?
The why is because I needed to come here, to be in Europe with you during the war to see what happens. The how is, well, like I said, I time travel.
Time travel? Is that even possible? I thought it was just movie stuff. I know the one about the hobo who falls asleep and wakes up in the 8th century or somewhere, but that's just fantasy, right?
Right. In your time of 1945, but not in my time. My computer creates an avatar that allows me to go wherever I want.
I have no idea what you just said, and I don't know anything about what you call computers, but... Oh yeah, I do know about the giant calculator thing that Bell Telephone built in 1939, I think.
How do you know about that?
Because the inventor was a scientist named George Stibitz, Jewish guy.
And you know that because it was news or because he was Jewish?
Both. He's a Jewish fellow who made news. We all knew that.
Of course. Oh, and one more important thing. Like I told you, I'm invisible. You're the only one who can see and hear me. Might be a good idea to not tell your friends.
If I did, they'd just send me back home before I can kill Krauts. I hope you're right about making it through this war, though. Right now, I just want to make it through this boat ride. Great-granddaughter, really? I don't get anything you're saying, but I'm sick enough to play with my own hallucinations. At least it's company. Why are you here again?
To learn more about this war and why people even go to war. Why do people go to war, Pop? Like, what are you doing here?
I don't know. I guess most of us are here because we got drafted and it's our job to protect our country. But I'm really here because my family members, our family members from Poland, were killed by the Nazis. I plan to avenge their deaths Hitler's killing Jews. We're Jewish.
I get your anger, Pop, and your desire to avenge the deaths of our family. It's just the whole war thing. I want to learn firsthand if I can, and I want to be connected to you here.
Do you even know anything about what's going to happen?
I really only know what I learned in my history class, which I suspect was totally wrong. I know we win the war, but not until after thousands of American soldiers and lots of other people are killed. You don't die, of course.
I don't?
No, but it's going to be hell. Trust me on that one.
Cigarette. I need a cigarette. Do you smoke?
Absolutely not. You seriously smoke those things, dude? Now those will kill you.
Hell, I'm about to fight in a war in a place I know absolutely nothing about. I could die here regardless of what you say. I'm not worried about a little cigarette killing me. Anyway, the ads on the radio say that 9 out of 10 doctors smoke Camels. It can't be all that bad.
Cigarettes are killers, really. And didn't you hear me? I'm your great-granddaughter, which means you don't die here. You have to go back home to, where are you from anyways?
East Liverpool, Ohio.
Yeah, East Liverpool, to make babies with Grammy.
Who?
Grammy, Frances, your wife, my great-grandmother.
Oh, God.
Why do some people hate Jews or gays or people of color or immigrants? I just don't understand.
I'm having trouble understanding you. I'm not looking forward to what's ahead here except killing Nazis who kill my family. It's that simple.
I don't know, Pop. It seems like there should be more to it than that. I mean, that's important and all, but look at these guys here with you. They're not Jewish. Hell, they didn't even know any Jews except you and Harvey. And they just met you two at boot camp, but here they are. Why would people fight and die for something they know nothing about?
How about for a person's country? For freedom? For liberty? I don't know, but not me. My family was killed. I can't let that go. I gotta do something. That's what makes this okay for me. That's it. Well, that and maybe getting respect from my father.
Wow. Beth and Sam return to their schools. Act 1, Scene 4, on the battlefront, France, February 1945.
We arrived at the battlefield camp in Hagenau. It was February 1945. This was our first fight, and we were scared to death. Scared of death. It was 40 below, and everything, especially our feet, were frozen. We couldn't breathe from the cold. It was the first time I saw some of my buddies get killed. Other guys were taking the fleece jackets off the dead soldiers. Freezing cold, deep snow, and icy rain removed any guilt that we might have had. We were scared and homesick. The only thing that kept us sane was the hope of letters from home, though none had arrived for me yet.
Sam and Beth come forward. He's writing a letter. She's looking over his shoulder.
Keep writing these letters, Pop, but you haven't received any yet. Isn't that kind of frustrating?
Well, how else would you suggest I send my thoughts, my love to Frances? And it takes a while to get letters from the States with this mess of war.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I guess I'm just used to doing things much quicker, like on computers and iPads and iPhones.
Huh?
Never mind. You'll never get it. Graham will get it later, but you won't.
You are awfully annoying, Beth. I gotta tell you, honestly, if I were conjuring up people to be here with me, it's gonna be Betty Davis or maybe Carol Lombard, Jane Russell for sure, but not an imaginary great-granddaughter.
Pop, when you write your letters, why don't you write about what's really going on here? The weather sucks, it's freezing cold, the food's awful, and the other soldiers are already a hot mess. Your letters are way too Mr. Nice Dude.
Didn't you hear the instructions? You're not allowed to write about where we are or what we're doing. The censors would just cut that stuff out of letters before they get sent. And
Wait. Whoa. The censors? Your letters are censored? Like someone else reads every letter before it gets mailed? That's a huge violation of your privacy.
Okay, look, it's like this. If we say where we are and what we're doing, the enemy could get the letters and counterattack. So we gotta be careful until after the fact. Understand? It's a safety thing for us. And anyway, I don't want Frances to worry about anything. I worry enough for the both of us.
Ketch comes forward excited.
Hey, Sammy, did you hear the good news? We're getting a break. Trucks are taking us to Paris. Paris! Coming? We're gonna have some fun. Dames are everywhere. They want us, and they're cheap. Give him some chocolate bars or some cigarettes, and you'll get all the sex you want.
Nah, Ketch, you go on. I'm staying true to my wife. And I sure don't want to get any of those diseases they told us about.
I'm married too, Sammy, but we're a million miles from home, and we might not make it back. And they have that new medicine, Peninsula or something, to take care of anything we might get.
That's okay, Ketch. Go ahead. I'm going in, but I want to see Paris like a tourist.
Pop, go ahead. Don't miss a chance to play just because I'm here. I have plenty of other things to do. And he's right about the peninsula, except he means penicillin.
Now, this is a strange conversation to have with my so-called imaginary great-granddaughter. It's just that I really don't want anyone else. And I don't know if I'll ever get back to Paris again. Too bad it's bombed out, but at least I'll get to see some of it.
I know it's tough for these guys. Most of them are married like you, Pop, but that doesn't seem to stop them.
The fellas don't care about that, but me, I just don't want to be with any woman but the one I married last year. I wish she were here with me.
Seriously? You wish you were here in this most romantic place ever?
Don't you miss someone and wish he were here, Beth? You must have a boyfriend, unless you're making boys as nuts as you're making me.
I guess I do make boys nuts, but not for the reasons you think. I don't have a boyfriend. I have a girlfriend. Her name's Lupe, and I guess I probably do make life a bit crazy for her.
You have a girlfriend, not a boyfriend? I don't get it. Why don't you have a boyfriend?
Because I'm lesbian, so I have a girlfriend.
A lesbian? What's a lesbian?
It's a girl who loves other girls, not boys. My heart tells me I'm attracted to girls.
You mean like men who are light in their loafers? Handsies? Fagulas?
What's a fagula?
It's a Nancy boy. A homo.
Pop, that's a lot of negative words. Pansy, Nancy boy, homo. We don't use those words anymore in my year of 2020. Men who love men are called gay men, and women who love women are lesbians, although most of us identify as queer these days, like my girlfriend Lupe.
He's queer?
Yes, but the word is used differently in my time. Queer used to be used against us, but we reclaim the word. Sexuality is a spectrum. Like gender, we're proud to be queer. It's gotten a bit more complicated since your time, Pop. It's been a difficult struggle to get our rights, the ones we have right now in my time. It's legal for women to marry women and men to marry men.
Wait, it's legal for you to marry another girl? You can marry a girl?
Yeah, but we can get fired from our jobs, so our rights are limited.
I just don't understand.
Understand this, Pop. Your daughter's a lesbian, your grandson is a gay man, your great-granddaughter is pansexual, and your little great-grandson is trans. She's a girl now, so be careful with the words you use, Pop, because you're talking about our family.
Well, I really don't understand any of it. What I don't get is you, Beth. You're pretty. You have such beautiful, haunting eyes, and you sound so smart. You should have a boyfriend. A girl who likes girls? I don't know, but maybe I do get it. Heck, some fellas are just creeps. If I were a girl, I think I prefer girls to boys, too.
Pop, really?
I'm going to think about that.
Good idea.
Beth, those girls in Paris, do you think they're just looking for American husbands to take them back to the States?
Some might, but mostly I suspect it's about survival for them. They're in a war-torn town with little food or money or resources. You guys come in with your few bucks and some candy bars and cigarettes. I bet those women aren't terribly excited about seeing any soldier. They're not professional prostitutes, Pop. They're survivors. They probably have families that they need to support, and there's no other way to do it.
Maybe you're right.
What's it like to be you? To be a kid from God knows where, East Liverpool, Ohio, wherever that is. I don't know much about your family. You and Francis knew one another's little kids, right?
Yeah. We were in the same grade in school because Francis skipped a grade. She's really smart. We graduated 2 years ago in 1943 when I was 18 and she turned 17. Seems like a lifetime has passed.
What's your family of origin like?
My what? What's a family origin?
You know, like your parents and stuff.
Oh, I get it, sure. My family is okay, kind of big. I worked for my dad in his grocery store ever since I was a little kid, and I took care of my 3 younger sisters and brother. All we have is us as a family because so many others were in Poland. Those who didn't make it out before the war began were killed. I think that's one of the reasons why I liked Frances so much from the start. She has a family, and I always felt like one of them, like I belonged. Never felt that anywhere else, not even in my own family. My dad, he runs the show, the most respected man in East Liverpool. I want to be respected like him one day, but more important, I want him to respect me.
East Liverpool. Funny name. Sounds like someplace the Beatles came from.
Who?
The Beatles. Oh, right. No Beatles yet. It's kind of funny, though. The Beatles are born now, but they're just babies. What's East Liverpool like? I live in Tampa, Florida. It's kind of crowded. Too much traffic, too many people. Is East Liverpool like that?
Nah. East Liverpool is such a small town. My family lives in this big 3-story house on Thompson Avenue. Everybody knows us. A kid can't get away with anything because the neighbor down the street could be the one to spank him as quickly as his own parents.
You said your parents came to the United States from Poland. When did your mom arrive, Pop?
Good question. I think my mom's family sent her to the U.S. around 1913, just before World War I. She never talks about it, but I do know she had to go through Ellis Island in New York. Everyone who came to America around that time had to go through Ellis Island, and they had to have someone in the U.S. sponsor them. My mom's 2 older sisters were already there and sponsored her through. I don't know anything about my dad. He never talks about it.
My mom's done some research. Your dad was one bad dude. He came to the U.S. as a stowaway on a ship.
No kidding.
Yeah, he and some other guy. They're being chased by the Russian army or something. I don't know, because of their work in the resistance during the World War I. He didn't have the papers to legally enter the U.S., and he wasn't sponsored by anyone like your mom's sisters, so he couldn't go through Ellis Island like your mom did. When his ship entered New York Harbor, he and the other guy jumped overboard and actually swam to Battery Park.
Really? Maybe that's why he always hated going in the water.
Actually pretty cool, really. Awesome bad dude. My great-great-grandfather was an undocumented immigrant.
A what?
Never mind. Your dad apparently knew your mom's family in Poland and found your mom in New York. He somehow got enough money to buy a vegetable cart and peddled groceries on the Lower East Side where your mom lived.
Really? A vegetable cart? He owned a grocery store in East Liverpool? Did my parents get married there?
Doubtful. Your mom was still young. She and her sisters worked in one of those garment factories with other Jewish and Italian immigrant girls. Your mom's sister died in the Spanish flu epidemic in New York in 1917.
How sad. I bet my mom felt lonely and scared.
Your mom was sent to Cleveland, where people from her shtetl in Poland lived. Your dad probably followed her there. They did move together in East Liverpool by 1923 because your sister Esther was born there that year.
Do we know why they moved to Liverpool?
You probably went to East Liverpool because it was small and had 2 synagogues, like that Polish shtetl. It must have felt familiar to your parents.
So is that why they got married? 1923?
Not sure. Based on what my mom found in the 1920 and 1930 census records, it's unlikely that they were ever legally married because of your dad being undocumented. They probably got married in the synagogue, which was all they really cared about anyways.
Yeah, that sounds about right for my folks. They never talk about it.
How did you end up in the Army reconnaissance, Pop? You know how we're going to be out in front lines, right? That's what recons do. Get out ahead in troops and scope the area.
I don't know how I got so lucky. It just happened. No one asked me. I wanted to go to Ohio State to be a pharmacist. I did want to avenge the deaths of my family in Poland, like I said, but I also really wanted to go to school. But I got drafted like everybody else and just got placed in the recons.
Are you scared, Pop?
A little. Well, maybe a lot. Are you?
Yeah, like crazy, but I'm trusting that you'll keep us safe somehow. Weird thing is, I totally trust you. I mean, I know you do because I'm born, but this sure feels real. I can leave any time by just programming my watch, but I want to stay here with you. I have another question for you.
Shoot.
Why did you get married so young?
What? Young? Everybody gets married right out of high school. We actually waited a year. We were the old couple, but we thought getting married was the right thing to do. With the war and all, I got promoted from private to private first class and had a little bigger paycheck. The time felt right.
That's a promotion? Dude, I hate to tell you, but the PFC isn't that high up on the military food chain.
True, but it beats being a married buck private, the lowest of the low. I was pretty shy, but I knew I was going to marry Frances. Even when I was 8 years old, I asked her to elope when I came home on my first furlough. She said no to eloping, but she did say yes to marrying me.
Did you give her a ring?
Yeah, I got her a beautiful ring. My father paid for the ring because, as you already pointed out, private first class doesn't buy diamonds. We got married last year, 2 weeks after I turned 19. April 16th, 1944. First anniversary is in 2 months. I know I won't get to be here to celebrate, but at least I'm a corporal now and can send more money home. Oh, God. Here I sit, halfway around the world, talking to my imagination. I'm losing it.
I'm not your imagination, Pop. I'm really just, different. And since I'm your great-granddaughter, I like hearing your stories, and I need for you to live through this mess so I can be born.
When are you born?
2003.
And who's your mother again?
Your granddaughter, Barbara.
And who's her mother?
Your oldest child, your daughter, Ruth.
I'm so confused.
It'll make sense one day.
A bomb explodes. Lights flicker.
Whoa! Did you see that? That was close.
And loud. Damn. Ugh. God, this is the worst. Bombs falling, and I've never been so cold in my life. At least there's mud and ice and snow to make it interesting. Why are we here again?
Wow, which is worse, weather or a little booming event?
Little? Are you kidding?
It was scary as hell. Thousands of mines along the front destroying body parts, bazookas, mortar fire, killing or mutilating all those young men, some barely 18 years old.
We've entered hell, Pop. Pure and simple. And I'm convinced that the Rainbow Division replacement dudes have no idea what you're doing.
What's your point? Look, it's dark and we need to try and get some rest somehow before we head out in the morning. Just try and get some sleep.
A bomb explodes. Lights flicker.
Oh, how the hell are we supposed to get some sleep? It ain't happening. That was too close. They keep firing at us. Pop, oh look, oh God, no. You were just talking to that guy. Oh, I can't look. He's blown to bits. Holy crap, I can't just stand all the blood and guts and bones and screams. Pop, that guy. Pop, this is all just so wrong.
It was my buddy, Bob Richards.
This is crazy, Beth. How do we survive? It's been quiet for a few minutes now. Are you okay now? We gotta get some rest.
Rest? I'm scared and I'm worried about you and I'm pissed.
No, it's hard to see our buddies get blown to bits
And we keep going through all these little bombed out German towns. How are we supposed to rest, Pop? How can anyone? Remember that silk factory we saw near Hagenau?
Everyone inside was dead. Bodies were all along the street, mostly girls and old women.
That one dead girl was about my age, Pop. Where are the girls who are still alive?
We knew German men and boys were in the army. But where were the women? Where were the girls who lived there? Where were they? Nobody talked about them.
It's bad enough that my dumbass teacher thinks the Holocaust never happened. But it did. So, where are the children? Why were millions of people killed and nobody talks about the German or French kids? I know the Jewish children were taken to camps and murdered, and my heart hurts for them.
Wait, camps? What camp? The only camps I know about here are the prisoner of war camps.
No, Pop, concentration camps. Hitler is sending Jews to concentration camps to be killed. He's systematically killing millions of Jews and millions of other, including his own country people, who don't comply with his sick laws. I wish we could save every one of them. Hell, it could be me and you, Pop, if your parents hadn't gone to America. You keep saying Hitler's killing Jews. You're right, and that's how he's doing it, in camps.
Can't be right, Beth. No one can be that sick.
He's also been cruel to his own people in German towns, Pop, killing them, starving them. Like, what about the children who live in these bombed out towns we keep marching through? Oh, God. The girls. I remember reading about this. The only children left in these towns are now girls. The boys were taken away by the Hitler Youth and are probably dead by now. Who's left? Probably just some old women and Hitler Youth that are probably dead by now. It's nearly impossible to learn about their lives back home. I can't let the deniers get away with their lies.
They're probably all gone by now, Beth. Probably killed.
This is getting on my last nerve, Pop. How do you do it?
Try not to think about what we're doing, Beth. I just do what I'm told.
Doesn't make it better, Pop. I need to find out. I need for you to get extra K-ration food packs for me, please.
I'll have them by morning. If you're invisible, won't someone notice a bunch of K-rations walking out here by themselves?
No, they'll be in my backpack, which is just as invisible as I. Kind of like the Harry Potter bag.
The what?
Harry Potter, it's my time thing.
What are you going to do with them?
I'm going to take a side trip to find kids, and I'm betting they're hungry. Don't get killed while I'm gone. Back soon.
Sam returns to stool.
I worry about my Pop. I worry he'll get hurt, that he has to follow orders and causes guys to be killed or be killed. But he's got no choice. I want to leave. I want to go home to my soft bed, to my girlfriend, to my safety. And I can anytime. I have a choice because my watch gets me home, but Pop doesn't have a choice. I need to remember that. I'm turning off my watch for now. I gotta stay to see this through. I have to see it for myself, no matter what happens or how scared I get.
Act 2, Scene 1. In a bombed-out German town, 1945. Beth and Ludvig go forward.
Ludvig, I'm Beth. Thanks so much for answering my call. I never know if my iPhone works when I'm calling from a different era. Kinda freaks me out when it does.
About the phones. Luckily, this worked out. What are you actually doing here?
I just need to see this disaster for myself. Let's just say bad history class information, but I get to be with my great-grandfather who's only 19 and a soldier in the American Army. Man, Schweinfurt. This town's a total disaster. The buildings look like slivers, and that smell.
Yes, it's horrible. That's the smell of death. It's all horrible. This is so weird for me, Beth. My great-grandfather's dead now. He was in the German army, killed in Russia in 1943. No one in my family talks about it. I'm almost scared to learn anything about this.
I read that German families in our real time are just beginning to talk out of the role families played during World War II. Maybe your being here will help your family deal with it. I've seen some real shit since I got here in January, and it's so damn cold. Have you seen any of the war zones?
Yeah, I've seen much of it. I hate it. But I can't seem to leave. It's got me so sucked in. There's such bad stuff going on here, Beth. These are my people.
Look, we know how it turns out, yet some people around the world, even in our own countries, are denying that it ever happened. To make it worse, it's nearly impossible to find anything about the children who lived here. I need to know, and to make sure others know. I can't let those freaking deniers get away with their lies. It's my people too, Ludvig.
I know, Beth. Why do they think it didn't happen? And why do people believe them? And sorry, Beth, but that president of yours just makes it worse. What's his deal? He's just ruining America's relationship with Germany and the other European countries.
I wish we could stop him, Ludvig. He embarrasses America every time he opens his mouth, and no one in Congress has the guts to stand up to him.
I hate to tell you, but we've heard that before. I hope he can be stopped before it's too late.
God knows I do too, Ludvig, but for this moment, let's see if we can find young people like ourselves. Male, female, I don't care. Let's see if we can find anyone still alive and willing to talk with us. I brought a bunch of food for them. K-rations. Gross, but edible, and the people here are starving.
Good work, Beth. How'd you get those?
My pop helped me get several dozen packages before I left.
What's a pop?
Oh, that's my great-grandfather. His name is Sam, but we call him Pop. I know, it's weird. In real life back home, he's an old man who tells stories about the war, but right now, I get to hang out with him as some dude who's only a couple years older than me. I know these times are different, but man, the guy's such a dork. Sweet, but a dork.
There must be some kids around here, though. I doubt any will be boys. Nearly all the boys older than 8 were turned into child soldiers and are probably already dead. But let's see what we can do. Let's go.
He points to a bombed out building.
That must have been the town hall.
Those posters. They're gross. That one with the man with the crooked nose and Star of David on his coat, it says, "The Jew is guilty for the war."
And look at that one. The Jew is the parasite among humans?
Ludvig, I'm sick.
My people. I'm so embarrassed.
I'm so sorry, Ludvig. What do German schools today teach about the World War II history? I'm not learning anything from my creepy teacher. Do you even know how the war started?
All I know is after World War I, Germany was bankrupt and with high unemployment. German people blamed the German government. They needed someone to give them hope. Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party offered that hope for a prosperous future. Hitler said he alone would take care of everything, just like your Trump is saying.
Oh, God.
Hitler was a piece of work. He wasn't even German. He was from Austria, and he didn't even finish school. When he was in prison for treason, he wrote Mein Kampf about his hatred of the Jews, blaming them for everything wrong in this world. Much like your Trump is scapegoating immigrants.
Ludvig, I get the comparison, but hearing Trump's name just sickens me even more.
Sorry, Beth. Well, anyways, after Hitler got out of prison, he did 2 things. He promised to end the humiliating conditions that the defeat of World War I caused Germany, and
He made Jews a common enemy of the people.
right. His Nazi party created a boycott of Jewish businesses, then took away the rights and property of the Jews. He even took away their German citizenship, and then he destroyed their homes.
I know about Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass. Businesses and homes of Jews were destroyed along with other 1,400 synagogues.
1,400? In one night? Torah scrolls were stomped on and burned. I know it happened, but to actually see it here?
This is all so unreal, Ludvig. So incredibly frightening and sad.
And evil. The final solution was the Nazi plan to exterminate all the Jewish people in Europe. 6 million Jews were murdered, and if you count disease and starvation, and even more murders, over 80 million people died between 1933 and 1945. At the hands of my people.
We hollered, "Never forget!" But we forgot. The horrible thing is, it happened again. Potsdam, Rouge in Cambodia, the Ethiopian Red Terror, Rwanda, Darfur, Iraq, Bosnia, Syria, Yemen, all after World War II. And today in China, over 1 million Muslim Uyghurs in Xinjiang province, that's over 10% of that population, are in concentration camps.
We forgot, and it happens again and again.
Ludvig, do you think it can happen again in our home countries, in our generation? Can it happen in the US or in Germany again?
I feel like it's already happening in America with the caging of immigrant children, and people just don't seem to care.
Yeah, you're right. They don't seem to care. That's why I came here, to see how this went down and if there's anything we can do to stop the madness at home before it gets worse. Ludvig, look! 2 girls over there. Let's make ourselves visible. Offer them some food.
Helga and Inga come forward. They look startled to see Beth and Ludvig.
Please don't be afraid. We're friends. Here, we have food for you.
Hands some of the food to them.
I'm Ludvig, and this is Beth. What are your names?
Inga eats hungrily.
I'm Helga. This is Inga.
What are your ages? I'm 17 and Ludvig is Ludvig, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 18.
I'm 16. She's 14.
Where's your family?
All dead. May we have more, please?
Beth gives all the food to them.
Thank you. Everyone is starving and mostly waiting to die. We listen for the airplane sounds. They come back to bomb again. I don't know why. There's nothing left here.
What happened here?
2 years ago, our family home was hit by bombs. Fire bombs. Everything burned. People died, but our parents were already dead.
I'm so sorry, Helga. Did you know what was happening? Did you know about the war?
Yes, of course. For years, the sirens howl. We go down to the cellar and wait for the bombs. The steps of the cellar are so steep, I think I'll fall.
The ground shakes and lights flicker. We sit on wooden benches along the cold concrete walls. The room is so small. We are packed in so tight.
There are buckets for toilets. Everything stinks. It feels like a tomb. We are in constant fear of getting buried alive.
During the daytime, American bombers target the industrial area. During night, British bombers target neighborhoods. Russians target people. We are targets for everyone.
We try to live normally, even though the walls of our house are gone and there's no food. Every day is bad news. We watch airplanes fill the sky like locusts. On the ground, looting. Soldiers smash windows and take everything.
With our home gone, we live in the mess now, making shelter as we can.
We hoped, along with the other women and girls, that the Americans would get here before the Russians, because the Russians rape.
But that didn't happen. We've been brutalized so many times, often in public. No one comes to help us.
I feel nothing. No fear, no anger, no love, just hunger.
Oh, God.
Our fear of attack runs through the city. Many of our friends died by suicide after the Russians were here. I thought about it. My sister needs me. Too many women and girls, who knows how many, are raped. The Russians rape any female of any age. Rape is not common among Americans and British troops, but they're no angels, and the German soldiers are no better.
She's right. No one knows how many women were victims of sexual violence here. Maybe 2 million, probably more. Their lives were never normal after that.
I hate that German soldiers don't treat their own people better.
Once, my ration of one piece of bread fell from my shaking hand. Before I could pick it up, a boot crushed down on it, pushing it into the mud. I saw the silhouette of a German officer. I waited for him to move away from my bread. When he did, I grabbed the bread from the mud, pressed it against my dress to get rid of the worst of the filth.
What do you do now? What do you do each day?
Well, we try to help others who struggle to survive. Most of the dead people in our town are still under the rubble. The smell is terrible. There are no men or boys.
But what happened to your parents?
They were hanged because their uncle refused to join the army.
The Nazis kill as many German people as Jews. Only they take the Jews away and leave Germans to hang and rot as a warning to others.
I dragged my best friend Maria from a burning building. She died in my arms.
When did that happen, Helga?
2 years ago. I still miss her.
I'm so sorry, Helga.
What was it like before the war started? What was life here like for you and for your Jewish friends?
People in our town were proud. But where is all that pride when the Nazis threatened everyone with imprisonment? People stayed quiet, trying not to provoke. Good Germans changed their allegiance to Hitler because they hoped things would get better. You could imagine the horrors that were coming.
Everyone is responsible for everyone else's compliance. We can't trust anyone. Even children denounce their own parents. No wonder we're fearful and suspicious.
It's demoralizing. Much to our disgrace, too many Germans support the Nazis' madness, fearful for their own lives and the loss of their families.
Most of her friends died from starvation. It's been so long since we've had anything to eat. And thank you for this food. We'll share it with the others. Food is so scarce. An obsession.
How do you pay for food when you're able to get it?
Helga and Inga look at each other. We stood in ration lines when there was food to give out. Now, we trade our bodies for it.
Helga puts her arm around Inga. Silence. They are all overwhelmed.
Why did people here follow Hitler and the Nazis?
We had no choice. Every day at school, we had to stand up, thrust out our arms, and shout, Heil Hitler.
And once a week, we had to listen to a propaganda speech by Hitler. There's no way to avoid it.
Boys as young as 8 years old had to join the Hitler Youth and swear loyalty to Hitler personally.
The women who caused trouble are sent to Lebensborn houses to have babies by Nazi soldiers. The babies are raised by someone else, not their birth mother.
The birth mother just has to make more babies.
German women are lonely. There are no marriage prospects since most soldiers are wounded or dead. The only thing that kept me sane was school. But now, no school.
Jewish people were taken away to be killed. German men and boys taken away to fight. And all that's left now of us are us and some old woman.
Did you have Jewish friends?
Yes, of course. But our friends and families disappeared into the night. One of my Jewish friends told me that she was afraid every day, that each day brought new miseries for her family. They were banned from public transportation, couldn't participate in sports, or swim in the public pool, play tennis or hockey.
There was a sign at the ice rink that said, Jews and dogs not permitted. Park beaches were painted green for Germans and yellow for Jews, as if Jews were not Germans.
They couldn't even go to the movies.
They were told Jews are evil and the war was their fault. I knew it was all lies. I had many good Jewish friends. But the Nazis arrested Jews on the streets, in cafes, and restaurants, and even in their own homes, gone without a trace into thin air.
Once, I saw some of my Jewish friends in line at a train that was meant to carry cattle. They went to one car, and their luggage went into another. The luggage car was uncoupled from the first car. I could tell their luggage wasn't going with them. I tried to believe that my friends were simply being resettled. Then nothing bad would happen to them. But we hear what others say, that our Jewish friends are dead.
I sneaked over to the Jewish quarter. Empty. Everyone gone.
We heard later that trains were going to Auschwitz. Something very bad is happening there.
Did you see Jewish people wearing the yellow stars of David on their clothing?
Every Jewish person we know, even babies, had to wear the yellow star with the word Jew on it. On the left side of their clothing, so it is easily seen.
My friend Rebecca said the patch that meant she was no longer a human being. She was always humiliated. She was stopped and searched constantly. The star was a badge of shame. Rebecca told me she had been robbed of her freedom.
Everything is forbidden. And punishment for everything is death. And we can't do anything to help.
Helga is crying. Beth wraps her arms around her.
You're remembering Rebecca now, Helga. She will continue on in your heart, in the heart of her friend, and we're going to remember too. We'll never forget her.
Never forget.
Never forget.
Never forget.
Ludvig, Helga, and Inga return to their stools. Act 2, Scene 2, on the battlefront, Germany, April 1945.
Hey, listen to this. Hitler and Göring are standing up on the radio tower in Berlin. Hitler says he wants to do something to put a smile on Berliners' faces. So Göring says, so jump.
Funny, Sammy. Okay, I got one. If Hitler, Göring, and Goebbels were on a ship in a storm and the ship sinks, who would be saved? Give up? Germany.
Here's another one, Ketch. A fella is asked why he wants to join the Navy. He says his father said it was a good idea. You know why? His father is in the army.
How about this? A fellow writes his girl that he's leaving her for a Fraulein. The American woman wants to know what the Fraulein has that she doesn't. Nothing, said the soldier, but she's got it here.
Pop, look out!
Sound of airplanes zooming in, shooting. Sam, Catch, and Beth duck.
Whoa, Catch! Did you see that?
Yeah, man, we nearly got taken out.
Go check on the boys. I'm gonna see if I can get through on the radio.
Wow, Pop, you two are out of control. Do not ignore those airplanes. You'll never see the light of tomorrow. That was too close. You're supposed to live.
Beth hears a message on Sam's radio.
Uh-oh. He says the German army's coming in fast. We gotta move out now, Pop. Like now!
Okay, men, let's get this recon unit out front. This fog and snow are miserable, but we gotta go. Mount up your armored cars.
Beth hears another message on Sam's radio.
Geez, he just said that small towns on or near the line should be cleared of civilians. Cleared of civilians? What the hell does that mean?
Beth, cut it out. This is serious stuff. We could get killed. Oh, right. I know. We don't. We live. I hope you're right.
Look around us, Pop. This is pathetic. Houses with missing walls, staircases leading to empty air, piles of rubble everywhere, the smell of dust and death. Is this what's meant to be cleared of civilians?
I know, Beth, but we've got to keep moving.
Okay, can I at least change the subject while we go? I gotta clear my mind.
Sure.
So, Pop, do you have many friends back home? Like, what do you do for fun?
I don't really have many friends back at home, Beth. I know lots of people, probably everyone in town, but my job was always to look out for my sisters and kid brother. I had no choice. I had to be responsible for them. My dad works all the time to take care of the family, and my mother hardly speaks any English. Now I'm married.
How do you feel about that, Pop?
Feel? I try not to feel much, Beth. I guess I wouldn't say this to anyone else, but since you're not real, I can tell you. The truth is, I feel angry a lot. I feel alone a lot. Even in my big family, I feel different from any of my friends. I want to be loved, for sure, but I really want to be respected. I married Frances because I love her and I want to get back to her if she doesn't leave me for someone who's already back from the war. I just don't think anyone really respects me for anything. I guess that's really why I'm here, to get respect, especially from my dad.
Talking about getting respect from your dad. Why do you think he doesn't respect you? And do you honestly think Frances will run off with someone else? Come on, Pop, get real. She married you. She must love you.
I guess so. I just always think my dad is disappointed with me. I'm not as smart as him, not as tall as him, and I'm just an employee in his store. Maybe Frances is disappointed because I'm just a corporal, which is why she might run off with another fella. Some of these guys they're messing with local girls. Some even say they're going to divorce their wives and come back for the girl here. And some of the single ones want to take the girl back to the States. For crying out loud.
Dude, listen to yourself. Get a grip. None of what you just said has anything to do with your wife for leaving you for someone else. Are you really that insecure?
Maybe.
Sorry, Pop. Actually, I get it. I really feel the exact same way. I feel so alone even when I'm with family and new friends. I feel so different from all of them. I know some of them, especially my grandma, your oldest daughter, loves me fiercely, and so does my girlfriend Lupe, but otherwise, I just feel like awkward most of the time.
That's how I feel. So awkward.
My mom and stepdad think I'm a big loser. My dad gets me most of the time because he's a computer gamer too. My little sister is the only one who knows me well and loves me for who I am, sometimes even when I don't love myself. And respect? No one respects me for anything, not even for my brains. I'm so much smarter than any of the kids at my school, but it just makes me like a freak, isolated, really.
Yes, isolated.
We're 3 generations apart in age, yet we're so much alike. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's the truth.
It's our truth, Beth.
Pop, you keep talking about revenge. How do you know our family members were killed in Poland?
Because when I was in high school, my dad got a letter from the care company. It was a go-between for Polish Jewish families and American Jews who wanted to help support them by sending money. The letter said that not to send any more money because our relatives, everyone's dead.
Wow.
The only time I ever saw my dad cry. I'm here because I want to get even for him. It's that simple. And it's the way I can get his respect. Why are you here?
I'm here because I have an idea of what's happened, though my dumbass teacher sure doesn't. I want to see the truth with my own eyes, whatever that might be. I want to know why so many people were killed and why American soldiers are here despite the US government's desire to remain isolated from Europe.
What?
Yeah, the government didn't want to get involved in this war even though they knew Jews were being killed. President Roosevelt did some great things, but befriending Jews was not one of them. Do you know about the German ship St. Louis?
No, never heard of it.
In 1939, that's just 6 years ago, the St. Louis with nearly 1,000 Jews aboard escaping Germany tried to dock in Cuba. On orders from Roosevelt, the U.S. prevented that from happening, then wouldn't let that ship dock anywhere in the U.S.
Why?
Because of quotas. Roosevelt didn't want too many Jews entering the United States. The ship returned to Germany. Most of the people on it were sent to the campus and killed.
Damn.
Roosevelt wasn't any better to Japanese Americans either, forcing 120,000 people, actual American citizens, into internment camps on U.S. soil. You ask why I'm here. I'm here because I needed to see this disaster, every bit of it firsthand. I'm worried because it feels like it's starting to happen again in my lifetime, in my country.
Ketch comes forward.
We're moving out again? That's it, Sammy. I'm gonna go AWOL. I just want to play in my squeeze box, drink a little liquor, and mess with pretty women in that order. I hate this place.
I know what you're saying, Ketch. I hate it too.
Hey, did you hear the good news for tomorrow?
What? Good news? We could use some.
We get to ride the donkeys over to Hart's Mountain. Why are we going on the donkeys, you ask? Because we're proud recon, Sammy. Up in front, ahead of the gang. Except we haven't ridden donkeys since basic training, and that lasted exactly 1 day. My ass, my personal ass, not the donkey, is not looking forward to this.
Donkeys? Really? Like, why?
Well, it is easier to get through the rough terrain on those mules. No roads, just paths. My tuck house is sore already just thinking about it. Better pack up our gear.
Ketch returns to stool.
I'm not sure, but I bet Jewish boys don't make very good cowboys.
Sure they do. There's Eli Growski, who had a Jewish star on his branding iron, Adolphus Stern, who smuggles guns to Sam Houston and fought for Texas independence from Mexico. There was even a Jewish Indian chief, Solomon Bibo, a nice Yiddish boy from Poland, and cowboy named Jiv Levy met his marker at the end of the barrel of a 6-shooter one dark night in Tucson.
How do you know about these people, Pop?
I don't know. I guess I just read a lot. The Jerrys don't know nothing about Jews.
Pop, why do you use the words like Kraut and Jerry's?
Because that's what they are. They're not human. They're not people I want to know. I don't like them. I don't respect them. They're dreck, scum.
So it's easier to shoot at people if you think they're subhuman, like not real people. Trump's doing that in my time back home with immigrants at the Mexican border.
Who?
Oh, the guy who's president right now. He hates anyone who's not rich, white, male, and Christian.
How'd he get elected if he's so bad?
Good question. He has a secret partner in his pocket, Russia.
Russia?
It's really a terrible situation. I have no idea how it's going to turn out, but people keep comparing him with Hitler when Hitler was first in power.
No kidding.
Really, the similarities are striking. Damn fascists. All of them. Now in 1945 and now in 2020. He's separating immigrant children from their parents, even babies, and locking the kids up. Building detention centers, censoring the press, lying to everyone. And the worst part is, his cronies in government totally support him. It's truly mind-boggling. This is really why I wanted to come here, Pop. To see what it's like here before it gets worse in my time.
Damn, Beth. I'm a child of immigrants, and I'm here fighting for freedom in the United States. It begs the question even more.
What question, Pop?
The one you keep Asking, what am I fighting for? But the Germans, or at least the Nazis in the military, are the enemy. I'm here to kill them no matter what they're called. That's what Uncle Sam says to do, so I do it. And I need to avenge the deaths of my family.
Harvey comes forward.
Hey, Sam Stein! Haven't seen you since our units were on that damn ship coming over here. Not sure I'm over the seasickness yet, even though it was only 2 months ago. How you doing? Hey, you going to Seder tonight?
Hey, Harv, good to see you again. Yeah, I'm going to the Seder. Wouldn't miss it. I hate that I'm not home for Passover.
Me too. Does your family do traditional Seders with all the prayers and wine and stuff?
I'll say, hours of stories and prayers and food, I like it. I like listening to my dad at the head of the table and eating my mom's cooking. It's special to me, so I'm glad they're doing this here in the middle of Germany. Kind of fitting, don't you think?
Yeah, I like the story of the Jews' exodus from Egypt. It's a story of freedom, perfect for this place, for sure, though I don't know how free anyone is yet. But I like the prayers, especially the ones that pray for our beloved dead.
I think this year we need to pray for our beloved alive, like ourselves, Harv.
Think about this. We were in Bonn, Germany, in the Nazi meeting hall on Adolf Hitler Street at the first Passover Seder in Germany since the Nazis came to power. We celebrated in the land where Hitler said no Passover would take place for at least 1,000 years. Passover is about freedom. We were creating freedom for the people in Germany by destroying the Nazi regime.
Hey,
Comes forward.
Hey, did you fellas know that the Jewish athletes were kicked out of German sports and 3 Jewish boy runners on the American team weren't allowed to compete in the 1936 Olympics in Munich?
I didn't know that.
But there was a kind of a revenge, and the Nazis were properly embarrassed when that American Negro runner Jesse Owens beat the Germans with 4 gold medals, more than anyone else won that year. Amazing.
You don't say. Good for him. Well, fellas, I gotta go. See you at the Seder, Sam. So long, Catch.
So long, Harv.
Harvey returns to stool.
Sam, that fella, your friend Harvey, he's a bit light in his loafers, don't you think?
Knock it off, Ketch. Lots of fellows are like that. Women, too. Harvey's here fighting in this war just like you and me. He's as much as a man as we are.
Okay, man, not a problem.
Way to go, Pep. I'm proud of you.
I've been thinking about this, Beth. You said it's our family. I don't know much, but I sure know that I don't want anyone saying bad things about our family. And Harvey's my friend.
Wow, impressive.
Is that what we're fighting for? Freedom? Freedom from the Nazis? Freedom for people to be who they are without fear?
Yeah, Pop, that's exactly it. But for us here in Nazi Germany, there's more to come, I hate to tell you.
Machine gun fire. Harvey at a stool screams out.
Pop! No, look! Oh God, Pop! It's Harvey, his leg! Holy crap, the blood! Gross! Here come the medics!
No, Harvey, hang on, buddy. The medics are almost here.
Sam! Tell my mom I love her!
You can tell her yourself soon. Harv, just hang on, buddy.
You okay, Pop?
Yeah, you okay? It suddenly just got personal. Damn.
Machine gun fire.
Duck! Jeez, that was close. Pop, you're hit!
Damn it all. I hate this.
Sam, you need help. I'll get the medics.
Thanks, Ketch. I think I'm okay. Just graze. Whew. Could have been a lot worse. Just some flying shrapnel. We gotta go.
We spend most of our time waiting for something. Chow, pay, a shower, a bomb, a letter. I can't wait anymore. I can't imagine what joys this day will bring.
Life, I hope.
You're right, Ketch, but aren't you used to it yet?
Seriously, Sam? Are you used to it? I'll never get used to this man. I hope I never do.
In the freezing cold, we kept marching forward, knowing there was no hope of safer circumstances. Combat was the only reality with no escape, except by death, capture or desertion, or, if one dare imagine, the end of war. Sooner or later, we each became a casualty, not if, but when. Yet we continued, and we fought well as we moved forward through our fears to attack the enemy.
2, Scene 3, Dachau.
We've been on this dirt road for a while now, Sam. Where are we? Geez, stinks worse than the crab packing houses back home.
The smell is awful. What is this place?
Don't know, Sam. It might be a POW camp, but we don't have one on our map here at all. Let's follow that wall and see where it goes. Man, this smell is making me sick.
Let's look, there's got to be 50 train cars stopped up there. They look like little coal cars. Oh no, God no, bodies everywhere. Look, with Jewish stars. Oh my God, what are we seeing?
Damn, there's got to be 1,000 bodies. Oh God, and look, some tried to crawl out of the train. They're all frozen to death.
No! What the hell? I read about this, but I didn't really believe it. Oh God, Pop. If it's bad on this side of the wall, what in God's name is on the other side?
Sam, we gotta get in there. Look, there's a gate.
Sounds of machine gun fire.
The guards, they're shooting at us. Shoot back, shoot back.
Sounds of machine gun fire. Sam and Ketch shoot back.
Rush that damn gate!
Sounds of machine gun fire. Flashes of light. Ketch, Sam, and Beth look around in shock with disbelief, struggling with nausea.
Oh my God. What is this place? Are those ovens? There are people in there. That smell, I can't stand it. Where in the hell are we?
Oh God. Dachau. Holy crap, the crematorium!
This building, stacks of bodies. Look at this stuff. Hair, teeth, shoes, toys. Oh God, dead people. So many dead people. Are any of these people my family? My uncles, aunts, cousins, yellow stars of David, what's left on their clothes?
He vomits.
And the triangles. Look at all the triangles on those people, Pop. It's more than just Jews. It's anyone who's different, labeling people like animals.
How can they do this?
Pop, look! People are still alive. They need help. Now, food, water. Jeez, I can smell the sickness, the infections. They're starving, Pop, and cold. We gotta do something now.
Sam vomits again.
Get a grip, Pop. We gotta help them.
We need help here fast. Medics, blankets, food, water. They're on their way. They should be here soon. They weren't far behind us.
I don't get it, Sam. I don't understand any of this. Such disregard for human life.
Everything inside me hurts. Can't tell this could have been me if my dad hadn't left Poland, but he did. These are my people. Maybe not family, but my people. It's just wrong. All wrong.
Sam, Beth, and Ketch return to their stools.
This day, this April 29th, 1945, changed the lives of every one of us who were there. At Dachau. For the rest of our lives, we suffered from terror, from nightmares, from post-traumatic stress. Dachau was a lesson paid with our innocence, and forever we would be at a loss to convey the horrors we encountered there. Shocked by the unspeakable cruelty, our lives were held for the rest of our lives.
Act 2, Scene 4, End of War, May 1945. Lupe lovingly brings old Sam a baby wrapped in pink, stays with old Sam.
Welcome to the world, my precious great-granddaughter. There's so much I want to tell you. Someday, I hope I'm around to watch you grow. I see your eyes, baby Beth. I've seen those haunting eyes before. I know it's impossible, but I never forget.
Old Sam gives baby back to Lupe, who takes it off stage, then joins full cast. Full cast comes forward, standing side by side. Beth wheels Old Sam over to full cast.
Over the course of my life, I would do my best to erase the abomination of Dachau from my memory, but the horror and the shock never left. Young men of the 42nd Rainbow Division, citizen soldiers turned liberators, finally knew why we were fighting this war.
The sight of so many dead, tortured, emaciated human beings was beyond anything we could have imagined. The Army trained us to fight, but not had prepared us for this psychological shock. Nothing could. It was a tragedy beyond our comprehension.
The American troops, especially the 42nd Rainbow Division, had not intended to liberate a concentration camp, about which they knew nothing. They were there to conquer a country.
The next day, April 30th, the day after the liberation of Dachau, Munich fell, and Adolf Hitler and his wife, Eve Braun, died by suicide in Berlin. On May 8th, 11 months after D-Day, on Normandy beaches in France, Germany surrendered, and the world celebrated the liberation of Europe from Nazi rule. The war was over.
On the morning of May 9th, 1945, Sam awoke early and looked for Beth. She wasn't there. He read the note she left on his pillow.
Dear Pop, we now know what you were fighting for, and certainly what you were fighting against. That day in Dachau was much more than a day of death and despair. It was a day to celebrate, not with cheers or fireworks, but with thoughtful remembrance of when life prevailed over death. Dachau represents humankind at its absolute worst. You and the other soldiers paid the price of war with your innocence, and it will affect you for the rest of your life. You will never forget, nor will I. I look forward to seeing you again in about 50 years. Thanks for keeping us safe. I love you, Beth.
Hitler made no secret of his intention to exterminate the Jews. Regardless of the problems they encountered, many Jews could not conceive the enormity of Hitler's ultimate plan.
It was this disbelief, even as the persecution against them accelerated, that led many Jews to remain home rather than leave Germany. So yes, to answer Beth's original question, the Holocaust happened.
The Holocaust happened.
The Holocaust happened.
The Holocaust happens.
The Holocaust happened.
The Holocaust happened.
The Holocaust happened.
Can it happen again?
Today, in our time,
With similarities in today's political climate to that of the early Nazi takeover of Germany, what are you doing to make sure it never happens again?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May I present the cast of The Soldier and the Time Traveler? If you guys all come back on and give a little bow, I'd appreciate it. They did such great work. I'm so proud of you guys. This was not easy stuff. This was some really heady material, and they went into it with as troopers. I wanted to take a moment because I would love to, if you had any questions, take some questions from the audience. If you had a question for our cast members, or if you have a question for our wonderful playwright, we would love to answer them if you had anything you'd like to ask. In the meantime, while we're waiting for those questions to come through, I wanted to give a personal thank you to Dr. Ronnie Sanlo and tell you how much I greatly appreciate it. We all greatly appreciate it, giving this work to us, for allowing us to do it today. So thank you very, very much.
And I am honored to be with this amazing cast of young people. You did such a beautiful job, and I thank you all so much from my heart.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So the things we're getting from people is that it was amazing, that it was well done, they did a great job. So I have a question for the actors. How was this doing such such heart-wrenching work and then having to do it against a camera? Even though you could see your fellow actors, was it more difficult? Did it help you? Who would like to answer that question?
Well, I think it helped me,
Yeah, how?
honestly, because I didn't really have as much pressure as I would have if I was standing in front of there in real life with them. So I think it helped me, show my emotions more.
Wonderful, wonderful. Anyone else? Davina. Davina? You have to unmute.
I'm still muted.
No, you're fine.
It was very heart-wrenching, but I also think is very good for us to learn, because we didn't learn, like you said, it could happen again, which it is, sadly. But I think it's a way to learn about the Holocaust.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny that you say that, because Katie Ditter, one of our wonderful J Company young artists, she said to the actors, "How much did you feel you learned about the Holocaust from doing this piece?" Yes, Alara.
Well, it wasn't necessarily something I learned, but I think that the
Alara, you're breaking up a little bit. Maybe stop and start your.
Okay.
There you go. You're getting better. Try it again.
Is it good now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay. Well, what I said was that I think even though it wasn't necessarily something I learned, I think the representation of camps was really important.
Okay, I think we got the majority of that. The representation was very important. Yes, very good. I appreciate it. What else?
I can.
Hey, Mr. Brody.
Well, there are all these terrible things about the Holocaust that made me feel awful about it, but this made me feel even worse because of the things like Dachau, which seems pretty awful.
Yeah. So is it something that it gave you sort of a true visual, so you could connect with it instead of it just being this random story about things that happened before you were born?
Yeah, I can see and picture everything that happened in those moments.
Yeah. And that's why we've started doing this connection with the National Jewish Theater Foundation and working on new Holocaust teaching materials. Starting with a kickoff of doing a play reading of a Holocaust show, so that the young people that watch it can have something to begin their journey of understanding the Holocaust thoroughly. I had a question for Alton. How is it playing a great-grandfather?
Was new.
Was new. I like your makeup. It looks really good.
Thank you. My brother did it.
Kudos to Aiden. So, anything else that anyone would like to say? Any of my actors? Oh, Yara, how are you doing? So reading stage directions is like the job that no one ever gets any credit for, but you did really, really well, and you were Miss Slideshow projector as well. So well done, Yara. Well done. Roz Dermer has raised her hand. I don't know how she did that wonderfully, but did you have a question, Roz? I can't hear anyone. think that might have been a mistake. Okay. Well, people have said congratulations to the cast and the crew. Congratulations to playwright. And I did have just one more person contact me and said that they really enjoyed that the play took place in our current time period, even though we were going back to 1945. So it made it realize that it was a realization, you know, that things are still happening here and now. Patel Rosen, did you have something you wanted to say? I think you raised your hand. I can unmute you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wonderful. Yes. So I was just curious. This was, well, first of all, this was a wonderful show, and I think everyone did a beautiful job. But how many of you know a family member that was active in World War II, either someone who, you know, went to war or someone who was actually there in Germany? And if so, have you talked to your parents about how that may have affected your family?
That's a very good question. Anyone?
Homework.
Right? Lots of homework. It's true. I mean, so many of them are so young, you know, that I don't even know people that fought in the World War, and I'm old. So,
right.
Yeah. But
no, my grandfather, so Peyton probably doesn't know, but her great-grandfather was in World War II. And, went over there, and actually, his plane went down and had to parachute out, and he made it out.
Wow.
But it'd be interesting for them to ask their family and just see what their experience may have been. Most of them have passed by now, but hopefully those stories are with their parents or their grandparents.
True. Right. And oral history in many ways is the only way to learn this stuff, because the way, as we're learning currently, the way history books were written down, they weren't written down for everybody. They were just written down for the rich white people. So,
True.
It's fascinating. Oral history is that's the reason that theater is around, because of storytelling. It's how it started, and that's how it's ending. So it's good.
It's a beautiful story, and I really hope it gets to many more young people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm just saying this right now because I want to make sure that everybody hears this. Don Testa, he when quarantine is over, he'd like to arrange a group to tour Poland and visit Auschwitz. I am in, Don. I think that is something that all of us should do at some point, because without, I'm from the Show Me State. I'm from Missouri, the Show Me State, and it's one of those things that you have to see to believe the atrocities. It's crazy. But it's true.
I did that a few years ago. It's very, very sobering.
Oh,
so the pictures of Dachau didn't do it justice when you can actually walk through the actual camp, see the crematoria.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful.
It's very powerful.
The kids should be able to see that.
I agree. I think that we should work on that. I am full agreement, and I'll work with you to make that happen.
Okay.
Yeah?
I'll get on it.
All right. I look forward to it. All right, my friends. So I think our time is over. Again, thank you to my wonderful actors that are here in your house. I was going to say in this room, but we're not in one room. And thank you to Ronnie Sanlo for being so generous and for coming and for allowing, just so you know, so the rest of my audience, the actors got to meet with Ronnie an hour before in another Zoom room before we came here. So, they know a living playwright, and we're so happy to be able to connect with them. So thank you very much, Ronnie. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.